Most people start with a guess. They guess what the market wants. They guess what people will buy. They guess what will be a hit. This is a game you cannot win. Guessing is like buying a lottery ticket for your future. It feels exciting for a moment, but it is a poor strategy for building something that matters. The market is loud. It is crowded. It is filled with the echoes of failed guesses. If you enter this arena with just another guess, your voice will be lost. The world does not need another copy, nor a slightly different version of what already exists. The path to failure is paved with good intentions and bad guesses. Starting a business, a project, or even a small side hustle feels like a monumental task. The pressure is on. You have limited time. You have limited money. You certainly have limited energy. Wasting these precious resources on a guess is a tragedy. You are a student. Your time is your most valuable asset. Every hour spent building something no one wants is an hour you can never get back. The problem is not that your idea is bad. The problem is that it is just an idea. It lives in your head. It has not met the friction of the world or the people it seeks to serve. Your journey starts with you. It starts with your world. Forget brainstorming global scale ideas. Forget disrupting industries. For the next 2 days, be a world-class observer of your own life. Look at the patterns, the annoyances, the small moments of friction. These are where opportunities hide. Breadcrumbs to a market gap. The world is full of things that are just okay, a little too slow, a little too complicated, a little too frustrating. Your task is to see them. Think about your day as a student, the most annoying part of your morning, the most inefficient part of studying, the most frustrating part of your commute. What do you and friends complain about over lunch? These are not just complaints, they are signals. Unmet needs calling for a better solution. Your future niche isn't in a report. It's hiding in plain sight. Tangled cords, lukewarm coffee, a too heavy textbook, the challenge of finding a quiet study spot. Exercise. For 48 hours, write down every problem you encounter and those your friends face. Do not judge. Do not solve. Just collect. Aim for at least 20 small frustrations. Write concrete, specific problems. This list is your raw material, a map of potential needs. At the end of day 2, read your list. You'll see patterns, some universal, others context-specific. Circle the 3 you find most interesting, the ones you have lived, and that spark a little energy. Starting with a problem you understand gives you an unfair advantage. Stop guessing. Start investigating. You have a short list of problems. Now, find out if anyone else cares. Your frustration is a starting point, but it is not a market. A market is a group who share the same frustration. Your job today is to listen. Listening is the most underrated skill in business. Your goal is not to sell an idea, it is to validate a problem. Find 5 people who experience one of your top problems. Approach them as a researcher. Be genuinely curious. Script. Hey, I'm working on a small project about student life, and I'm trying to understand something. Do you have a minute to talk about the problem area? For example, finding good study snacks late at night. Do not pitch. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of is it hard, ask what is the hardest part. Instead of what you buy, ask tell me about the last time that happened.
Ask, how do you solve it now? What do you like or dislike?
If you could wave a magic wand, listen for emotion and specific words. Do they sound frustrated, resigned, annoyed, passionate? The emotion is data. It tells you how painful the problem really is. A shrug is weak ground for a business. Real frustration is promising. After 5 conversations, review your notes. What did they all mention? What was the common thread?
That shared pain point is the beginning of your niche, the gap you have been looking for.
Day 4 and 5, find your slice, not the whole pie. The market is not a single giant. It is a collection of tiny overlapping groups. A niche is not about serving everyone. It is about serving someone, a specific someone. A niche is the smallest viable market, the group most desperate for a solution. They will forgive early imperfections because you are solving a problem others ignore. For the next 2 days, define this group with extreme clarity. You are not building for students. That is a demographic, not a niche. You are building for a specific slice. Example problem: healthy late night snacks on campus. Who feels this pain most? First year in a dorm with no kitchen. Student athlete refueling after late practice. Graduate student pulling an all-nighter. Each is a different niche, different needs, motivations, and buying habits. Athlete cares about protein. Grad student cares about convenience and quiet packaging. First year cares about price. You cannot serve all perfectly at the start. You must choose. Create a simple persona, a fictional character who represents your ideal customer. Give them a name, a major, a routine. Meet Chloe, a 20-year-old pre-med who studies late, gets hungry at 11 p.m., finds cafes closed and vending machines full of junk. She wants healthy energy, a quiet, convenient snack she can keep in her backpack. Section 5, Day 6, the minimum viable test. An idea is not real until it interacts with a customer. A business plan is a document full of guesses. Move from planning to testing. Create a minimum viable test, MVT, not a product. You do not need to build anything yet. Test the critical assumption. Will someone take action to get your solution? The action is key. Likes and compliments are nice. A real commitment, an email address, a pre-order, a small payment is data. Your MVT should be incredibly simple, simulate core value without building it. For late night snacks, start with a flyer. Tired of junk food during late night study sessions? Get a curated box of healthy, quiet snacks delivered to the library at 10 p.m. Text the snack to join this week's beta. Only $5 per box. This is a test measuring real intent. Alternative MVT, a one-page site or a campus Facebook post with a clear call to action linking to a simple form. Your primary metric is signups. This is not about thousands of people. It is about a clear signal from your niche. Ask for a small commitment to separate curiosity from real need. Set a goal, 20 signups in 24 hours. Share with your niche and earlier interviewees. Post it where they will see it. Then step back. Do not push too hard. Let the offer do the work. Day 7, the feedback loop and the path forward. Today is about learning. Your test falls into one of 3 categories. Strong positive signal, you hit 20 signups, maybe more. People are excited. Weak signal or silence, a few signups or none. Interest without action. Do not panic. This is not failure. It is learning. You just saved weeks or months. Now, find out why. Ask signups what appealed. Ask non-signups why they passed. Was price too high? Offer unclear? Problem not painful? This feedback is gold. It lets you pivot, evidence-based change. If strong, fulfill the promise. It does not need perfection. Deliver core value and start the feedback loop. Then follow up. What did you like? Not like. What was missing? What could be better? Section 7. Your 1-week action plan. The gap between thinking and doing is where most great ideas go to die. This week was about closing that gap, about action. Moving from a vague notion in your head to tangible insight from the real world. You have a repeatable process now. It is simple, not easy. It requires humility, curiosity, and the courage to be wrong. Recap. Day 1 and 2. Observe. Day 3. Listen. Day 4 and 5. Define. Day 6. Test. Day 7. Learn. Ask for small commitments and measure real intent. Analyze results. Understand the why. Decide to proceed, pivot, or pause. The most dangerous thing is doing nothing. The second is reverting to guessing. The answers are out there with real people. Your goal today: take one small step. Pick one problem. Just one. Write it down. That is the start. Tomorrow, talk to one person about it. Small, consistent action builds momentum. You do not need permission, funding, or a perfect idea. You need a process and the willingness to start. Start today. Start small. But start. Stop guessing. Go find a small, specific problem. Find a group you can serve. Make something better for them. This is how you find a profitable niche and build something that matters.